As always, we'll first check out the synopsis part. Swalpa synopsis noana, then we'll take up multiple choice questions related to it. Okay. Let me begin with haloalkanes and haloarenes. You know, haloalkanes and haloarenes are compounds which contain halogen. These are all halogen containing compounds. Halogen containing. Okay. Now, which are those halogen atoms? They are fluorine, chlorine, bromine, and iodine. These are the 4 halogens that we come across among organic compounds. Okay. Yes. Now let's proceed further. Classification. How are halogen containing organic compounds classified? You can classify them based on the number of halogen atoms. Okay. So this is based on the number of halogen atoms. Monohalo, 1 halogen. Dihaloalkanes, 2 halogens. Trihaloalkanes, 3 halogens. That's based on number. Second, you can classify them based on hybridization of carbon atom. Okay. Here we have 3 possibilities. sp3 hybridized carbon, sp2 hybridized carbon, and you can also have sp hybridized carbon, right? So accordingly you can classify haloalkanes among compounds in which carbon atom is sp3 hybridized. You have these varieties: alkyl halides, then allylic halides. Please concentrate on allylic halides. Allylic halides important to check madi. Allyl system is a system wherein halogen atom is attached to sp3 carbon. See, this is sp3 carbon, but that in turn is attached to a double bond. This becomes allyl system. Similarly, you have a benzyl system. Halogen atom attached to sp3 carbon. This is sp3 carbon. sp3. Okay. And this is attached in turn to a benzene ring. That is benzyl system. Okay. So these are some of the examples of halogen containing compounds. Now, compounds in which carbon halogen atom is attached to sp2 carbon. See, vinylic halides, where halogen is directly attached to sp2 hybridized carbon atom. Halogen directly attached to double bond. Then aryl halides, where halogen is directly attached to benzene ring. This is the broad classification chart of haloalkanes. Next, if you go to nomenclature, naming of haloalkanes, this is something we have studied in our first organic chemistry chapter as well. But remember some basic points. In IUPAC system, alkyl or aryl halides are named as halogen substituted hydrocarbons. First point. Second, under this system, alkyl halides would be called haloalkanes. So halogen is the substituent. It is the prefix part. Okay. Halo is the prefix part. Halo is the prefix. If it's fluorine, fluoro. Chlorine adre, chloro. If it's bromine, bromo, like that. Okay. Then in case of dihalogen derivatives, instead of prefixes ortho, meta, and para, you use numbers 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4 in the IUPAC system, whereas ortho, meta, para are used in the common system. Okay. So these are some basic rules and some examples. Just some examples. Okay. We have named these compounds in our first. Let's not do it again. So these are some sample compounds to be named. First one, see, 2-chlorobutane, chlorine on the second position. Okay. Second compound is this CH3 thrice. You write it this way: CH3 thrice. CH3 3 times attached to this, and then CH2Br. See, this becomes the longest. And then you have bromine on the first carbon, 1 bromo, 2, 2 dimethyl propane. Likewise, you can name all other compounds. See, this is chloroethene. Chloroethene, nodi, chlorine directly attached to double bond. Chloroethene. Okay. Now, this one is 3-bromopropene. Small correction. Make it 3-bromopropene. Small correction. 3-bromopropene. And next example is, you number it this way: 1-chloro-2-methyl benzene. 1-chloro, 2-methyl benzene, or you can also call it 2-chlorotoluene. You can name it either ways. Then here, this is taken as the main chain. This is numbered 1, and therefore it is 1 Chlorophenylmethane. Yes, that is about nomenclature, naming haloalkanes and haloarenes. Now let's proceed further. Okay, so let's take up questions related to this. Questions related to nomenclature and isomerism part. Question number 1 under your haloalkanes. This is the first question in your second year organic chemistry. Okay, so I want all of you to focus on this. IUPAC name of the given compound. There is a bond line notation given, and you'll have to find out the IUPAC name. Check marna. First of all, number the chain correctly. How should I number the chain? I should number the chain such that carbon carrying substituents get the lowest number. That happens when you number it from left to right. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so it's a pentane. It's a pentane. And bromine is in second position. So it must be 2 bromo. 2 bromo agirbeku. How many options have 2 bromo? Option A, option B, option D. All have 2 bromo. Then it must be 3, 3 methyl. These two are methyl groups. Me and Me, methyl groups. If nothing is written, it's no, it's methyl. So it is 3, 3 dimethyl. 3, 3 dimethyl. 2 methyl groups. Now which option has 3, 3 dimethyl? Yes. Option B also has 3, 3 dimethyl. Option D also has 3, 3 dimethyl. Okay. So first two we narrow down to A, B or D. Now A is ruled out. A sadhya illa. So it must be between B and D. Now look at the root word. Check out the root word. This is the longest chain. Longest continuous carbon chain is this. How many carbon atoms are there? 5. So it must be a pentane. It must be a pentane. So the correct name of this must be 2, 3, 3 dimethyl pentane. Option D is the right answer. Option D happens to be the right answer. Yes. Okay, that was question number 1, IUPAC name. Question number 2, see here name is given. You are already given the name, from which you have to find out which is the correct structure. Okay, so how do I do it? I should start from the root word. Always check out the root word first. Hex. Right. Then see what is before root word. There is a primary prefix cyclo, which means it's a cyclo compound. So cyclohexane. Cyclohexane. I write a hexagon. Bond line notation. I write a hexagon. Yes. Then there is a chlorine atom, chlorine substituent. Where is chlorine atom present? First position. So let us say this is carbon atom numbered 1. Carbon atom numbered 1. Here there is chlorine atom attached. Okay, 1 chloro aito. Then number the other carbon atoms. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now where is the second substituent? Fourth position. And what is that substituent? Ethyl. That is ethyl substituent. So ethyl substituent is present in the fourth position. So how do I write ethyl? 1 carbon atom, second carbon atom. 2 dots, 2 points are present. 2 carbon atoms, that is ethyl. So which option matches the given name? Which option matches the given name? It is option B again. It's option B. That's correct. Because here it is 1, 4. See this? See this? Carbon 1, carbon 4. Whereas here it is carbon 1 and carbon 3. Wrong. Here also it is carbon 1 and carbon 3. That is wrong. So it has to be carbon 1 and carbon 4. Carbon 1 and carbon 4. So for question number 2, the correct option is option B. Yes, hope you have written it down. Sorry. We'll now move on to our next question. Question number 3. Okay. The number of structural isomers possible with the formula C4H9Cl. We have to find out how many structural isomers are possible for this compound which has the formula C4H9Cl. Now we have solved a question like this before in our first chapter. We will try it out again. So how do you approach this? First draw the structure of a straight chain compound. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then add chlorine atom to any one of these carbon atoms. This is 1 chlorobutane. Yes, this is one structure. Next, for the same straight chain ಹಾಗೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. See if there is any position isomer possible. See, I can shift the chlorine atom on the second carbon. I can place it on the second carbon. Now I got 2 chlorobutane. First one was 1 chlorobutane. Second one is 2 chlorobutane. The two are different. Okay. Now, can I get something like 3 chlorobutane? 3 chlorobutane sadhya idya? No. This is same as the second one. This also is 2 chlorobutane. This is same as this. These two are identical. Yes. So this is my structure 1. This is structure 2. And that is repetitive, right? Now I need to branch the chain. This is for open chain, straight chain. Straight chain possibilities aito. Now let me branch it. How do I branch it? I write 3 carbon atoms in a straight chain and I'll put 1 carbon in the middle. This is branching, 3-1 branching. This is 3-1 branching. Now let me attach chlorine atoms. Okay, I'll attach chlorine atom here. So this is structure 3 because it's different from 2 or 1. It's different structure. Now then I can attach chlorine atom. Let's see what happens if I attach it here. If I attach it here, I've got nothing but 3. This is structure 3 ne. This also is structure 3, repetitive. This is repetitive. Just the same way this is structure 2, repetitive. Okay. Now what I can do is I can attach chlorine to the middle carbon. See this? See, and one more chlorine here. Yes. This is now different from all the previous structures. So this will be 4. This will be structure 4. Yes. So how many structures we have got? How many isomers are possible now? 4 structural isomers. Chloropropane or butyl chloride, secondary butyl chloride, isobutyl chloride and tertiary butyl chloride. This is butyl chloride. Butyl chloride. This is secondary butyl chloride. Okay. This is isobutyl chloride. And this is tertiary butyl chloride. Yes. Good. That was question number 3. 4 isomers. Option B is the correct option. Okay. Now let's proceed. Okay. Methods of preparation. What are the different methods by which we can prepare haloalkanes? First, we'll check out haloalkanes and then we'll go to haloarenes. First, haloalkanes. You can prepare haloalkanes from alcohols. How? By using any of these reagents. HCl in presence of anhydrous zinc chloride, HBr or HI. You get the corresponding chloroalkane, bromoalkane, iodoalkane. So this is how alcohol is converted to haloalkanes. First method. Okay. Yes. Now let me go to the second one. So order of reactivity of halogen acids is this. Please mark it. HI more reactive than HBr, more reactive than HCl. And among alcohols, tertiary is more reactive than secondary, more reactive than primary. Remember this order. This is the order of reactivity of halogen acids and alcohols in this reaction. Next. From phosphorus halides, you can convert alcohols to haloalkanes using phosphorus halides. PCl, PCl3, PBr3, PI3. All these give the corresponding haloalkanes. Okay. Next. You can also convert alcohol to haloalkane using thionyl chloride. And this method is popularly called Darzon's process. Very important. This is very important, Darzon's process. I'll tell you why this is important. This is important because these are two gases which escape. Gaseous products. Gaseous products which escape. Okay. And pyridine is the base used to drive the equilibrium in the forward direction. This is Darzon's procedure. Next. Okay. You can also prepare haloalkanes by photochemical chlorination. See, alkane Alkanes made to react with halogens in presence of diffuse sunlight, photochemical chlorination. And here the reactivity order of different hydrogens is given. Tertiary hydrogen more reactive than secondary, more reactive than primary, more reactive than methane. Okay, so keep that in mind. Tertiary more reactive than secondary, more reactive than primary. And order of reactivity of halogens: fluorine most reactive, iodine least reactive. So from fluorine to iodine reactivity decreases. ಇದನ್ನ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. Okay, next. Okay, two other popular methods of preparing haloalkanes. You call them halogen exchange method. You can convert chloroalkane or bromoalkane, RCl or RBr, to corresponding iodoalkane by treating it with sodium iodide, and this reaction is popularly called Finkelstein reaction. Very important again. Finkelstein and Schwarz. This is Finkelstein and this is Schwarz. Finkelstein is to prepare iodides, Schwarz reaction is to prepare fluorides. Yes, these are two halogen exchange methods. Next, addition of hydrogen halides to alkene. You can prepare haloalkanes from alkenes. This is something we have seen under alkenes chapter. Alkenes chapter alli ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, right? So where your halogen acid adds on in accordance to Markovnikov's rule, and this is electrophilic addition. So this is a revision again. We have discussed this. We all have discussed this under alkenes chapter in the previous worksheet. Okay, next. See, if you carry out the reaction with HBr in presence of peroxide, just a second. In presence of peroxide, you get anti-Markovnikov addition. In the absence of peroxide, you get Markovnikov's addition, Markovnikov product. This is something you should remember. And peroxide effect works only with HBr. Important point is note. Very important point is note. Okay. See, addition of HBr in presence of peroxide takes place as per anti-Markovnikov rule or addition, and HCl and HI do not show peroxide effect. Important point. HCl and HI do not show peroxide effect. Peroxide effect works only with HBr. Okay, e point barkoli. It's an important point. If HCl and HI is given, so you'll not get anti-Markovnikov product. You'll get Markovnikov product only, even in presence of peroxide. Okay, next. Haloarenes. Till now we looked at methods of preparation of haloalkanes. Now we are checking out methods of preparation of haloarenes. How are we preparing haloarenes? One popular method is this name reaction called Sandmeyer's reaction. Very popular name reaction and important name reaction. Sandmeyer reaction. Okay. And in a Sandmeyer reaction, you get haloarene from this raw material called benzene diazonium salt. Let's see what this benzene diazonium salt is. Yes, this is benzene diazonium salt. Benzene diazonium salt. Benzene diazonium salt. And these two reactions, the first two reactions, are Sandmeyer's reaction. These two reactions are Sandmeyer reaction. Okay. Yes. So from Sandmeyer's reaction, again you can get chlorobenzene, bromobenzene, iodobenzene, as well as fluorobenzene. Okay. Yes. That was one reaction to get haloarene. Now second reaction is direct halogenation of benzene. We saw that today itself under aromatic hydrocarbon. See, benzene, if it's made to react with chlorine in presence of FeCl3, you get chlorobenzene. With bromine in presence of FeBr3, you get bromobenzene. With iodine in presence of an oxidizing agent, you get iodobenzene. Now, why oxidizing agent is required for iodination? That's because iodination is reversible. Iodination reversible. Write down this reaction, all of you. Benzene plus I2 reversible, HiO3, you get iodobenzene plus HI. The reaction is reversible. That's the reason why you use oxidizing agent. That will improve the yield. Okay. Yes, that's about direct halogenation. These are the methods of preparation of haloarenes. Now let us go to questions. Questions, Norana, related to methods of preparation. Okay. Yes. Next. Okay. Question number 4. The number of possible monochloro. The number of possible monochloro structural isomers formed. Monochloro andre single chlorine atom substitution. One chlorine atom replacing one hydrogen atom. Compounds which contain one chlorine atom are called monochloro derivatives. Now we have to find out how many such monochloro derivatives are obtained from this compound. Let me now write the structure of that compound. CH3 twice. There are two CH3 groups attached to this carbon. CH3, H, then CH2, CH3. Okay. This is made to react with chlorine in presence of diffuse sunlight. Now you have to figure out how many monochloro compounds you can get. Okay. Observe. Let me indicate it using different colors here. Okay. First, these three hydrogens are of one type. So one of these hydrogen can be replaced by chlorine. What do we get? We get this as the product. CH3, C, CH3, H, CH2, CH2Cl. These are compound number 1 for these hydrogens. Okay. Then next, these two hydrogens are of one type. So one of these hydrogen can be replaced. You get another compound. See what the compound you get? CH, CH3, CH3, CH. Now you have chlorine atom here. CH3. This is our compound 2. Compound 2. This is compound 1. Does it stop here? Check. There is one more type of hydrogen. See, this when replaced gives rise to one more compound. CH3, C, CH3, Cl, then CH2, CH3. This is compound number 3. 3 compounds aito. Yes. 1, 2, 3. Now check it out. You have one more type. See these? These two are same, identical, equivalent. These are same. Because you replace any of these hydrogens, you get the same product. ಈ ಎರಡು ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಆಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಆಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್ ರೀಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ನಿಮಗೆ ಒಂದೇ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Therefore these two are identical. The two methyl groups are identical. Okay. So what's the product we get there? Check it out. I write it here again. You get CH2Cl, CH, CH3, CH2, CH3. So totally how many compounds we got? 4 different compounds. We got 4 different compounds. Students, please carefully observe this. The number of monochloro compounds you get depends on the number of different hydrogen atoms present. These 3 hydrogen atoms which are marked here, when replaced, give rise to compound 1. These 2 hydrogen atoms which I've indicated by blue, when replaced by chlorine, one of those hydrogens replaced by chlorine, you get compound 2. If this hydrogen gets replaced by chlorine, you get compound 3. And if one of the hydrogens of any of these 2 methyl groups are replaced, you get compound number 4. Hige 4 compounds barutte. So the correct answer is option C, 4 compounds. Yes. Yes. Okay, that was question number 4. Now coming to question number 5. The hydrogen atom that would be abstracted at a more rapid rate by bromine. So here some hydrogen atoms are marked. Okay, there is one missing here. I'll indicate that. This is 2. So there are some hydrogen atoms marked. Hydrogen 1, hydrogen 2, hydrogen 3, and hydrogen 4. Now, the question that is asked is, of the 4 hydrogen atoms, which hydrogen is removed more rapidly? Which hydrogen is removed readily? Okay. Now, let's identify what these types of hydrogens are. Now, please look at this. This hydrogen is a primary hydrogen. Primary hydrogen. It's attached to CH2. It is part of CH3. CH3 hydrogens are primary. CH3 hydrogens. Primary. Okay. So, adu option 4. Now, look at second one. This also is attached to primary. This also is CH3. Second one. This also is primary. This also is primary. Okay. CH3 is primary. Now, let's check out the first hydrogen atom here. This is attached to CH. This is secondary because it's attached to CH. CH part. Okay. CH2 is secondary. CH2 is secondary. I'll repeat this again. Please observe. Is primary hydrogen because it's part of CH3. CH3 andre primary hydrogen. Okay. Hydrogen number 2 is also primary. It's part of CH3. Hydrogen number 1 is secondary because it's part of CH2. See, carbon attached to 2 hydrogens. It's part of CH2. Okay. Now let's look at hydrogen number 3. Hydrogen number 3 is actually tertiary. This is tertiary because it's part of CH. It's part of CH. CH is tertiary. You can only have 3 types of hydrogens: primary, secondary, tertiary. How do you identify primary hydrogen? Hydrogen part of CH3 group is primary hydrogen. Okay. Hydrogen part of CH2 group is secondary hydrogen, and hydrogen part of CH group is tertiary hydrogen. That's how you identify different types of hydrogen. Now, what is the order of reactivity of hydrogens? Now, let me write it. Order of reactivity of hydrogens is tertiary greater than secondary greater than primary. So, which option or which hydrogen is the most readily abstracted? It is tertiary hydrogen. And which option indicates tertiary hydrogen? Option C again. Not really? Option C is the correct answer. Yes. That is question number 5. So these are questions on free radical halogenation of alkanes. Okay. Hope you all have written it down. This is an important question. Now we'll proceed. Next. Question number 6. There is a compound given here, cyclic compound, to which HI is added, and you have to find out what is this product X. What is the product X? Remember, very simple. If you have an alkene like this, R, CH, double bond, CH2, unsymmetrical alkene. Unsymmetrical alkene. If you add it, or if this is made to react with HI is unsymmetrical reagent, adds on to unsymmetrical alkene in accordance to Markovnikov's addition. Markovnikov addition. So, you know, H goes to first carbon. Okay. H goes to first carbon and iodine goes to second carbon. So, the major product you will be getting is RCH, CH3, iodine. Yes, 2-iodo compound. Okay. Keeping this reaction in mind, let's solve the question. Now, let me write the product. The reactant given in this question. The reactant given here is a cyclic alkene. Cyclic compound which is unsaturated, and then here you have CH3. Okay. Now to that you add HI. Please observe this also is unsymmetrical alkene. Unsymmetrical, and the reagent is also unsymmetrical. Therefore, here again addition occurs via addition occurs in accordance to Markovnikov's rule. Addition occurs in accordance to Markovnikov's rule. Markovnikov's addition. So what does it mean? The hydrogen atom therefore goes to the first carbon atom, that is carbon atom which is not attached to methyl group. Okay, right? Let me number the carbons. If I number it 1 and 2, hydrogen goes to carbon with less number of hydrogens. Sorry, hydrogen goes to carbon with more number of hydrogens. So between carbon 1 and carbon 2, which has more number of hydrogens? Illodi, carbon 1 has no more hydrogen. Carbon 1 ge yaudu hydrogen attach agilla, whereas carbon 2 will have one hydrogen attached to it. Carbon 2 will have one hydrogen attached to it. Therefore, let's apply Markovnikov's rule here. What is Markovnikov's rule? Whenever an unsymmetrical reagent adds on to an unsymmetrical alkene, the positive part of the reagent, that is H plus here, goes to carbon with more number of hydrogens. Which is the carbon with more number of hydrogens? It's carbon 2. Therefore, hydrogen goes there and iodine comes to first carbon. Hence, let's see what the product is. Hydrogen goes to the first carbon. Sorry, hydrogen goes to the second carbon. Iodine comes to the first carbon. Iodine comes to the first carbon. You have CH3. This is the compound we get. So which option matches this? Option B. Option B matches this. Option B is the correct answer. That is question number 6. Important. It is simple Markovnikov addition. Okay. Right. Next. Question number 7. Question number 7. Predict the major product in the following reaction. Dear students, mark this as a very, very important question, which can appear in CET as well as NEET. Okay. So here, if you blindly apply Markovnikov's rule na straight away apply madadre, you will be getting a wrong answer, because the actual reason behind Markovnikov's rule is carbocation stability. Okay. So let's check this out. This is a very, very important discussion. Mark it, all of you. Okay. Here, look at the mechanism. CH3, 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 CH, then you have a double bond, CH2, and to this you add HCl. Okay. Right. See what happens? The pi electron density is utilized to abstract H plus. H plus will add on to first carbon. This goes by the Markovnikov's rule itself, right? H going to carbon with more number of hydrogens. Now let's see what do we get. What we get here is CH3, C, CH3, CH3, CH. Okay. Now double bond becomes single bond. CH2 becomes CH3. Have a look at this. CH2, this carbon takes up one hydrogen, becomes CH3, and the other carbon would have lost its electrons and hence acquires a positive charge. Therefore, you are getting a carbocation. What type of carbocation is it? This is a secondary carbocation. Secondary carbocation. Okay. And we all know, whenever there is a possibility of a secondary carbocation getting converted to a tertiary carbocation, which is more stable, that particular path is preferred. So see what happens here. One of the methyl groups comes out along with its electrons as methyl. Observe Madi, methyl group is coming out with its electron pair as goes to the carbon with positive charge. Now what is the structure we get? Let me write the structure of the ion we get. We get CH3, then we have carbon, CH3, but check this out. This carbon has lost its electrons and therefore it gets a positive charge. Next carbon, hydrogen will have methyl group. This is the newly migrated methyl group. This is the methyl group which has one carbon to the other. Okay. I'll use a different color to highlight that. See, this is the methyl group which has migrated or jumped. Okay. And then you have the remaining CH3. CH3. Now this carbocation is tertiary carbocation. Tertiary carbocation. Yes. Now tertiary carbocation is more stable. Now this tertiary carbocation will react with Cl minus. And see what is the product you get? You get CH3, CH3. Now remember, this carbon atom had positive charge. That is what is attacked by Cl, and you get chlorine here. And then you have CH3 as it is. Please observe, there is one more CH3 here. Okay. CH3. This is the new CH3 that has migrated. Okay. This phenomenon of a methide group shifting from one carbon to the other is called 1,2 methide shift. 1,2 as it is. Please observe, there is one more CH3 here. Okay. CH3. This is the new CH3 that has migrated. Okay. This phenomenon of a methide group shifting from one carbon to the other is called 1,2 methide shift. 1,2 methide shift. Okay. So that's the reason why you get this as the product. Please observe, there is a very change in the carbon skeleton itself. The carbon framework itself has changed. Now, which option matches our given product here? Which option matches our given product? It is option C. Check it out. CH3, CH3, then Cl, CH, CH3, CH3. Option C is the correct answer. This is the product we get. Okay. This phenomenon is called carbocation rearrangement. Carbocation rearrangement. Yes. That is question number 7. Okay. Now let's go to our next question. Please copy it down. I will pause for a couple of seconds. ಇದು ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇದು. ಕಾಪಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Question number 8. An alkene is given, made to react with HBr in presence of peroxide. Remember, in presence of peroxide and HBr, you have anti-Markovnikov addition. R CH double bond CH2 plus HBr in presence of peroxide. The reaction will go the opposite way as predicted by Markovnikovs. Therefore, this is anti-Markovnikov addition. Anti-Markovnikov addition. So what is Markovnikov's addition? H goes to carbon with more number of hydrogens. So carbon 1 has more hydrogens, carbon 2 has less hydrogens. So Markovnikov's addition is H going to carbon with more hydrogens, whereas anti-Markovnikov addition is the opposite of it. H goes to carbon with less hydrogens, which means H goes to second carbon, which has only one hydrogen attached to it. Okay. If H goes to second carbon, where would Br go to? Br goes to first carbon. Hence, you get the product wherein bromine is attached to the first carbon. R CH2 single bond CH2 Br. Bromine is attached to the first carbon. That is anti-Markovnikov addition. Now apply that here. If anti-Markovnikov addition takes place here, please observe this. This is carbon 1, carbon 2. Hydrogen atom should go to carbon with less number of hydrogens. That is to carbon 2, which means bromine will go to first carbon. Therefore, the corresponding product here is, let me write it, benzene ring, CH2, CH, double bond CH2 plus HBr in presence of peroxide. Anti-Markovnikov addition, bromine goes to the first carbon. So benzene ring, then you have CH2, CH2, CH2Br. See, bromine gets attached to the first carbon. So observe Madi, in which option you have bromine attached to the first carbon? Bromine is attached to first carbon in option B and option C. In both the options, bromine is attached to the first carbon, but option B has benzene ring in it. Option C, there is no benzene ring. But look at the reactant. Reactant also has benzene ring. Therefore, option B is the correct option. So one must carefully select the correct option here. Yes, this is anti-Markovnikov addition, anti-Markovnikov product. That is question number 8. Okay, so we have 5 more minutes remaining. We'll try to discuss a couple of more questions and then we'll stop. Okay. Next, please write this down, all of you. Okay, next question. Question number 9. Chlorobenzene can be prepared by reacting benzene diazenyl chloride. See, this is benzene diazenyl chloride. Benzene diazonium means nitrogen triply bonded with one more nitrogen plus Cl minus benzene diazenyl chloride. On reacting benzene diazenyl chloride with which substance do we get chlorobenzene? That's the question. Benzene diazenyl chloride ಯಾವುದರ ಜೊತೆ react ಆದರೆ chlorobenzene ಬರುತ್ತೆ is the question asked. You all know benzene diazenyl chloride is the raw material in this very important reaction. Name reaction called Sandmeyer reaction. Sandmeyer reaction. Yes. So what's the reagent in Sand's reaction? It is cuprous chloride, Cu2Cl2 in presence of HCl. That is the reagent. You get chlorobenzene and nitrogen gas is liberated, N2. That's the driving force for the reaction. This is your typical Sandmeyer's reaction. And which is the correct option? Correct option is option B. Sandmeyer's reaction, cuprous chloride in HCl. Okay. Now coming to question number 10. Question number 10. Direct iodination of benzene is not possible. Please look at the word there, not possible. Because of which of this? We discussed this in the synopsis, right? Iodination is reversible. Check it. Benzene made to react with iodine. Let's say you get iodobenzene. You get iodobenzene plus HI. But remember, HI is a strong reducing agent. Strong reducing agent. Because of which HI reduces iodobenzene back to benzene. HI reduces iodobenzene back to benzene. Okay, that's the reason why direct iodination is not possible. And therefore, you use an oxidizing agent here, an oxidizing agent like HiO3, iodic acid. Okay, this is an oxidizing agent. Oxidizing agent. Okay, fine. So the correct option therefore is option B again. The product iodobenzene is reduced to benzene by HI is the correct answer. That's the reason why direct iodination is not possible. Okay, I think we'll end it with this question. We'll end the session with this question. This is a question based on physical property of haloalkanes. All of you can easily answer this. Which one of the following has the lowest boiling point? Lowest yavdu nodabeku, okay? See, this is the order of boiling point of haloalkanes. You have Ri, iodoalkanes, higher boiling point than bromoalkanes, higher than chloroalkanes, higher than fluoroalkanes. Okay, so here you're asked which has the lowest boiling point. So look for a fluoroalkane. Fluoroalkane idea? No. If fluoroalkanes are not there, what's the next thing you're going to look at? Chloroalkanes. So there are 2 chloroalkanes here, option B and option A. Option B is chloroethane, option A is chloromethane. But how do we select between these two? Remember, boiling point decreases with decrease in molar mass. So between chloroethane and chloromethane, which has a lower molar mass, chloromethane. So that has the lowest boiling point, least boiling point. So that is the answer for question number 11. Okay, I think it's exactly 6:30 now. These were the questions which I had for methods of preparation. I think the next slide is on chemical properties. So dear students, for next class, please come prepared. In second year topic ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ all these concepts are fresh in your mind. You would have prepared it for your board exam. So just glance through it once and come. Things will be easy. Okay. Thank you.